Hello everyone. This is the fifth lecture in DC-DC converter, and in this lecture I'll discuss about the discontinuous conduction mode of operation. So in the previous four lectures we have seen about the continuous conduction mode of operation of different types of converter like buck converter, boost converter, and buck boost converter. Now we will study about the discontinuous conduction mode of operation of these converters in this particular lecture. So in some conditions of a DC-DC converter, inductor current decreases to 0 when the transistor is off in each switching period. That means when next switching cycle starts, the current inductor current will be 0. Okay, it will start from 0. So during turn off time of transistor, the current reaches to 0 value. So the DC-DC converter is called operating in discontinuous mode. So this could be because of very small inductor or very small duty cycle, or it may be because of small switching frequency or a very small load. So these four parameters actually affect the modes of operation of DC-DC converters. So in some cases, engineers may design the DC-DC converters intentionally to operate in discontinuous mode, especially in low power applications, because it will reduce the component size. The advantage of discontinuous mode operation is that the inductance of the inductor uh, is lower. Okay, so that means the rating will be small and the cost will be lower. But because of discontinuous mode of operation, there will be more EMI, there will be more power losses, and also we require higher output filtering capacity. So these are some of the drawbacks, but if performance is not that much the criteria, so in that case we can use discontinuous mode of operation for low cost operation. So as we have seen, this is the buck converter in this is general buck converter configuration. Okay, so in continuous conduction mode we have seen that we were having two on state and two off states. In discontinuous conduction mode we will have one additional state, that is when both the transistor and the diodes they are turned off. Okay, they are open circuited. So this is the additional state. Remaining four states are similar to that of the continuous conduction mode. Okay, so this is the state when current inductor current ceases to 0. When this current becomes 0, this diode will behave like open circuited. So both the transistor and the diode, the control switch and the diode, they are open circuited. That means the current will be 0. So this is the additional state in discontinuous conduction mode of buck converters. So waveforms you can see for on time, that is DTS, the waveforms remain the same as that of the continuous conduction mode, but the difference is it is starting from 0 value. You can see from here the inductor current, it is starting from the 0 value. So the slope is positive. So as you have seen in the continuous conduction mode, which was V in minus VO, so the slope of this line will be V in minus VO upon L. Okay, so for DTS time it is rising linearly. Then during off time, when transistor is turned off, so inductor current will fall. Okay, because the voltage applied across that will be you can see from here, this is the inductor current. So in that case actually the slope was minus VO upon L, because the voltage across this inductor now will be minus VO. So slope will be minus VO upon L. So it reaches to 0 before next switching cycle starts. Okay, for so for this time interval, you can see from here, for this time interval the current remains 0, then next switching cycle starts. Okay, so this is the additional state. of state 2, here you can see the of state 2, the current IL become remains 0. Okay, so if we want to plot the switch current, so switch is conducting once it is turned on. Okay, so on time it is conducting and it is same as that of IL value. You can see from the previous diagram that in this case diode is turned off, so whatever uh, IT value, the same will be the IL value, so they are appearing in series. So that's why in on state you can see that the MOSFET current or transistor current, it is same to that of IL value. Okay, then it remains 0 during its off operation. Okay, so ripple in the current will be nothing but delta IL. Similarly for diode, during on time it is open circuited, and during off time, so off time 1A and 1B, it is equal to IL, then IL becomes 0 in off state 2, so diode current also becomes 0. So you can see in that the in off state 2 the diode is open circuited, so the current will become 0. Similarly we can draw for the IC value. So if we take the IO value somewhere like somewhere at this point, okay, so this portion will come to x-axis, below x-axis line, and this will be the x-axis line. I naught will be the x-axis line. You can see here this is the I naught value line. Okay, so during off time you can see from the diagram that for when the transistor and diode both are off, so in that case the capacitor will supply the necessary current to the load. Okay, so IC will be nothing but minus I naught in that case because it is discharging. So you will find that whatever delta IL here, the same will be here, only the axis have been shifted. So in the capacitor current also you will get the same ripple. Similarly, if you want to plot the voltage across the transistor, that is VT, so you can see from this figure, once it is conducting during on time, okay, it is 0. Here also the voltage across the transistor will be 0. During off state you can see from this diagram that during off state it is V in. Again here it is V in if we apply the KVL in this loop. Okay, so here also if we apply the KVL, the voltage across the transistor will be V in. But in this case so we will have, if we apply the KVL in this loop, so since this current is 0, okay, so there is no drop here, so V in Vt will be equal to V in minus Vo. Okay, so you can see that it is V in, then during off state 2 it becomes V in minus Vo because the current through inductor becomes 0. Okay, similarly in Vd you can see from here, so for Vd actually once this switch is turned on, in that case if we apply the KVL in this loop, the voltage across the diode will be V in. Here also it is V in, so in on state the voltage drop across the diode is V in. During when the switch is turned off, so diode is conducting, so in that case the voltage across this diode will be 0. Similarly in off state 1B, the voltage across this diode will be 0 because it is conducting. Now in off state 2 you can see it is open circuited because this current is to 0. Now if we apply the KVL in this loop, so voltage drop across this inductor is 0. Here it is V naught, so voltage across this diode will be V naught. So it is V in, here you can see it is V in, and here it is V naught. So we are having V in or V naught. Since it is buck converter, so V in will be higher than V naught value. Okay, now we can establish the input output relationship by considering that the converter is lossless. Okay, So P in will be equal to PO. Input power will be equal to output power. Input power you can see from here that it is V in into I in. So V in, I in you can find from here. So I in is nothing but IT average, okay, because input and the transistor they are in series. So whatever IT average that will give the input average. So IT average we can find from the waveform. So you can see that it is delta IL by 2 if we take one constant value at midway at midpoint. So it is nothing but delta IL by 2. So it is happening only for DTS time. Total time period is TS. So delta IL, okay, into DTS upon delta IL by 2 into DTS upon TS. So TS get cancelled. So we are getting delta IL upon 2 times D. So that will be the average input current. So here you can see that it is V in delta IL upon 2 times D. Okay. Now this will be equal to, if we substitute delta IL value, so delta IL value is nothing but V in minus VO DTS. Okay, because in on time the slope was V in minus VO upon L into DTS. If we multiply, then we are getting delta IL value. So V in minus VO. So here one extra D, so D multiply D will give D square TS upon 2L. So this is the input power. Similarly, output power we can write V naught square upon R. Okay, if we equate these two powers, we can get one quadratic equation, and after solving we will get VO upon V in is equal to 2 upon 1 plus square root 1 plus 4k upon D square. Okay, where k is nothing but 2L upon RTS. This term is very important. Okay, you should always remember k is equal to 2L upon RTS. Okay, so here you can see that output input relationship is not linear function of duty cycle. Okay, but here it is non-linear function. Okay, so unlike the continuous mode, V naught is not linear in terms of the change of D for discontinuous mode of operation. The voltage conversion ratio depends on the duty ratio of the gate signal, the value of the inductor because of the terms of K, and also switching frequency. So here you can say that the K actually depends on the inductor, the load, and the switching frequency. So that means voltage conversion ratio will be dependent upon duty cycle, inductance, load, and switching frequency. Okay, so this is important conclusion from the output uh, from the voltage conversion ratio. Now if you find what will be the boundary condition for continuous conduction mode and discontinuous conduction mode. So here you can see that if delta IL by 2 become less than I naught, in that case it will become discontinuous. So substitute delta IL value, we can draw one conclusion, that is if k is less than 1 minus D, it will be operating in discontinuous mode. So for boundary condition, k will be equal to 1 minus D, where k is 2L upon RTS. Okay, so based on that condition, in every problem actually you have to check whether the converter is operating in continuous conduction mode or in discontinuous conduction mode. Okay, so here you can see average transistor current. If you want to find, already we calculated, that is I in D times delta IL upon 2. Similarly, we can find what will be the average diode current. So diode current is this one. So delta IL by 2 only for the time delta TS. Okay, so delta IL times delta TS. Okay, upon 2 into TS. TS get cancelled, so we are getting average diode current to be like this. Now average inductor current, as we have seen in the continuous conduction mode, it is nothing but the summation of average transistor current and average diode current. If we sum these two, we are getting average inductor current. Okay, also we can find what will be this delta value. Okay, that is when that transistor is turned off, then what will be the duration for conduction of diode. Okay, so that value we can find from here. So delta IL is nothing but V in minus VO upon L times dTs, which is, and that will be equal to this ripple. So this ripple current which is given by this value will be equal to this ripple current which is given by V naught upon L. The slope of this line is V naught upon L, and the time is delta Ts. So substitute here, these two ripple currents will be same. So based on that we can find what will be the delta value, that is V in minus VO times D upon V naught. So this is very important in all numerical problem, because first you have to find what is the delta value, then only you can proceed. Now similar to the buck converter, we can also analyze the boost converter. So we are having one off state 2 that is extra in comparison to continuous conduction mode. So first three figures already explained in the continuous conduction mode. So this is the third one which is working in discontinuous mode. So you can see that in first on state, or in on state, once the switch is turned on, the diode will be turned off. Okay, we are having two loops. Capacitor is supplying to this load and inductor is getting charged from the input. Okay, in off state 1 the switch is turned off, so diode is actually conducting in that case, and if the current is more than the load current, the remaining current will flow through the capacitor. Okay, so in off state 1b you can see the inductor current become less than the IO value, so the the difference of the current will flow from this capacitor and capacitor is getting discharged. Now in this off state 2 you can see both transistor and diode, they are turned off and they are not conducting. Okay, so in that case the capacitor only will supply to this load. Okay, so these explanation you can see that once the slope is positive the current is rising, and the slope become negative and the current IL will fall, and it becomes 0 before next switching cycle start. Okay, so it is starting from 0 value again. So IT value will be nothing but IL during on state, and ID value will be nothing but IL during off state. Okay, like in the previous cases. IC you can see that it is nothing but IL minus I naught. Okay, so I naught value is shifted here. So you can see that during off state 2, the IC will become equal to minus I naught, because it is supplying the I naught constant current I naught to the load. Okay, similarly we can find what is VT and VT from the figures. So here delta IL is nothing but V in dTs upon L. Okay, so that will be equal to VO minus V in delta TS upon L. So we can find what will be the delta value. Okay, now again doing the same thing, input power will be equal to the output power. Substitute these values, the output input relationship we can find from this figure, from this relationship. Okay, where K is equal to 2L upon RTS. So if we solve for the boundary condition, we can see that for at boundary value K will be equal to D times 1 minus D square. Okay, if K is less than that, it will be working in discontinuous conduction mode. Okay, also we can find what will be the transistor average value current and diode average value current. If we sum these two, okay, we will get the inductor average current value. Also we can analyze the buck boost converter in discontinuous conduction mode. So you can see that these are the similar to that of continuous conduction mode. So we are having on state. Once this switch is turned on, okay, diode is in reverse bias and it is off. Okay, so we are having two loops, one loop is here, another loop is here. So the capacitor will supply the constant current to the load, because this diode is open circuited, and inductor is getting charged from the input supply. During off state 1 you can see the transistor is turned off, and this inductor actually will, this current will flow through this load, and also it will charge this capacitor. Okay, in off state 1b you can see that the inductor current actually become less than the I naught value. So the difference of the current, which the extra current actually which is required by the load will flow from the capacitor. Okay. During off state 2, you can see that both transistor and diodes are turned off. Okay, so this loop is open circuit. This loop also there is no current. In this loop you can see the capacitor is supplying the necessary current to the load. So IC will be equal to minus I naught in this loop. Okay, so if you plot the waveforms, we can again find we can also plot these waveforms for currents and voltages. Again doing the same thing, input power will be equal to the output power. Output power is V naught square upon R. So input output relationship you can find from D that VO upon Vin is nothing but equal to D upon root K, where K is equal to 2L upon RTS. So again doing the same thing, the at boundary K will be equal to 1 minus D square. If K is less than that, it will be discontinuous conduction mode. Okay, so 2L upon RTS is less than 1 minus D square for discontinuous conduction mode of operation. Okay, similarly we can find what will be the transistor average current, what is the diode average current, and what will be the inductor average current. So based on these things we can find what will be the average values of the current. Okay, so in every problem actually you have to first check for the continuous operation and discontinuous mode of operation, then you have to proceed uh, for the in the problem. Okay, so as an exercise, so this is the lecture end of the lecture 5. As an exercise you can do, you can calculate actually the component ratings for buck converter, boost converter, and buck boost converter in case of discontinuous conduction mode. Okay, so you are having the waveforms, you have to calculate the RMS values, average values of the current, and also the peak voltage that is appearing across the each component. Okay, so as an exercise you have to calculate, you have to create the chart for selecting the component ratings. Okay, so similar to that of continuous conduction mode that I talked in detail, you can follow for discontinuous conduction mode. Okay, thank you.